Hey guys, welcome to another ranking, and welcome to my ranking of the Devil May Cry games. Hell fucking yes. Okay. I gotta tell you guys something. A little honesty here. Was never a Devil May Cry fan. Just, when it came to, like, hack and slash games, God of War was the games I played. Like, the first 3 God of Wars for the PS2, PS3, even like God of War Ascension and stuff. God of War were my hack and slash kind of games. I never really got into Devil May Cry or Bayonetta and stuff. God of War was my hack and slash. So, or Medieval, if you count that. I remember playing a couple of the Devil May Cry games for the PS2. And played them briefly, never liked them, never could get into them. I played, I think, the third one. It was so fucking hard, and I got pissed off and just never played them. Never really got into the series. So, yeah. I always called the series overrated. Even though I played a couple of the games for a little bit, I don't think I ever gave it a real chance. So 2 weeks ago, I sat down and played all of them. Every single one of them. They don't take a long time to beat. I played all of the games. All 6 games. The 5 in the series, and the DMC reboot. They don't take very long. They each took me like 2 days to beat. So I finally got to play them, and I didn't include them in my tier rankings because I made those tier rankings a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I was in the middle playing them, so I wanted to make my own video for Devil May Cry. I am now a Devil May Cry fan because I actually really enjoyed the whole series. And I'm excited to do this ranking because they're good games. So I'm going to rank all 6 games. I know some people are going to probably disagree with me because I didn't grow up with this series. And I don't even have a huge knowledge on the series because I just played them this past couple weeks. And I know the stories off of the games I play, but like I don't know the lore and everything. And again, I don't have the nostalgia because people have been playing these games for so long. I'm very new to the games. I'm very new to the party. So again, some of my opinions might be controversial. Who fuck knows? But let's get to it. This is just my opinion. Just my opinion. So bear with it. So least favorite to favorite. Number 6. Devil May Cry 2. I think this is the one everyone agrees this is the shittiest Devil May Cry game. And that is facts, because I enjoyed every game in the series except this game. This game was a miserable experience. I thought the hack and slash was not the greatest. It wasn't very fun. All the weapons and combos you can do in the first one is like reducted into this one. The game spoon feeds you a lot of answers. The game also makes it so easy. You don't even need to use your sword in the game. You can just use your fucking guns and kill every fucking demon. And there you go. And the last boss was terrible. All the bosses were terrible. The level designs were generic and boring. And the game took me like 6 hours to beat, and then was it. And it was also just boring. And Dante barely says a word in the game. And Dante is such a funny, entertaining, charming lead character, and the fact that he doesn't even speak barely in the game is stupid. And Trish barely does nothing in the game, and Virgil does like nothing. Like no one does anything in this game, and it's just ridiculous. And it is the worst in the series. And yeah, I'm glad I'm in the popularity on that one. That this game is absolute ass, and it's not worthy of the Devil May Cry name. Anyways, coming at number 5. Now we're getting a little controversy right here. Coming at number 5 is the first Devil May Cry game. This is a big one. I know everyone's gonna be like, "Huh? The first one? Are you fucked?" Okay. I think the first Devil May Cry game is a good game. It's just a little dated. It's very like confined, and again, all the good weapons and upgrades and the fluidity of the movements of the characters get better as the games progress. And I like how simple this story is. It's just Dante, who has his business, the Devil May Cry, and he's a demon hunter, and he's got like demonic powers and shit, and he's after Mundus, the man who killed his mother and stuff. It's a simple story of him just hunting this one motherfucker down, and that's really it. And I kind of like how simple that is. And I love Dante. Dante's great. Playing as him, flying up in the air, shooting at motherfucking demons and stuff is great. The action's great. It's a great hack and slash. It's definitely probably the most terrifying because because it's so closed in, it feels like a Resident Evil game in a way. And it's good, but I don't know, I guess because it's so dated sometimes, some of the designs look a little weird. There's a lot of stiffness in the game, so it doesn't make it as entertaining and just fun to shoot up and slash people as the other games are. And as much as I love the simplistic story, I think the other stories in the other Devil May Cry games are just a lot more enjoyable. I still think it's a good game, so it's just by default it's lower than the rest. So I'm sorry. Now we're getting controversy. Number 4 is DMC. Okay, everyone's gonna be like, oh. This is definitely, like, Devil May Cry 2 is hated, universally hated by the Devil May Cry fans. Everyone's like, fuck that game sucks. DMC, the Devil May Cry reboot, is divisive. It's the last Jedi of the Devil May Cry games. It's just because he reboots the story of the first Devil May Cry, of Dante hunting Mundus down and stuff, but it just changes everything. Dante looks different, the world is different. Mundus is not like this like massive demon and stuff. He's like this business owner and this business guy. He's like the Kingpin and Spider-Man and stuff. I like this a little more than the first Devil May Cry because it's more fun. The fluidity, the action. This game is so edgy. It's almost a little too edgy. This movie, I keep saying movie. I'm a movie reviewer, so I keep saying movie instead of video game. But anyway, if there's like so much tits and blood and gore and F-bombs, this movie, again, movie. Kind of how many times I say movie. This game has a lot of like hard, mature, grotesque violence, and it's got all the good stuff. It's got all the carnage and the nudity and the bad language. And I could tell if I was younger, man, if I was like 14 playing this game, this game would have I will love. Oh man, this game would have been like, oh, this game slaps, man. I fucking love this shit. There is a lot of really bad dialogue in this game, like really bad lines. Well, all of them kind of have some stupid lines, but there's some really god-awful dialogue in this game. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? And the new Dante, I don't mind the look of him and everything. He's a lot more unlikable than I still prefer the actual Dante. I think he's a better Dante with the gray hair and stuff. They make him a bit different, a lot more cockier, more of a ladies' man stuff. I still don't mind him, and the action in this game, the hack and slash violence is fucking wicked. The soundtrack kicks ass. And there's some platforming in this, and I really love the puzzles and platforming they added in this game. I really enjoyed it. When I like read some reviews of when I was getting to DMC, I played the first 3. I played them in chronological of how they were released. I played 1, 2, 3, and then I was gonna play 4 next, but I'm like, no, people are like, you gotta play DMC because it's a reboot, and I'm like, and people said like people are like, oh, this game's terrible. So I was expecting like a reboot of Devil May Cry, and it just like shits all over the story. But I think it improves some elements of the story, and I like a lot of things they did in it. However, there is some bad writing. There is some really dumb moments, and I don't like the Mundus. I think Mundus is better in the original, but I just had a lot more fun. I think the Devil May Cry 1, the first game, is a lot more simpler and more scary, but this one was just more entertaining. So that's why I put it higher on the list. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get hate, man. What am I at? 3. Number 3 is Devil May Cry 4. Devil May Cry 4 introduces my favorite character, Nero. Yeah, I love Nero. I like him. I think he's a great character. I love how honorable he is. He's like this like knight almost. He's basically the antagonist in the movie. There we go, good. Just calling it a movie. In the game, he's the bad guy, even though you play as Nero. Pretty much most of the game you're playing as Nero. Like 60% of the games you're playing as Nero, and 40% you're playing as Dante. But it's weird, because in Nero's side of the story, Dante's the villain. But in Dante's side of the story, Nero's the villain. And that's why I like this game, that you're playing as these two people who are going against each other, and they both see each other as the villain, and neither one of them are really technically the villain, even though Dante, I guess, technically is more of the villain. But I love playing as Nero, because I love the new weapons Nero has. I love the movements of Nero, and I like that he is like this like honorable soldier that wants revenge and thinks he's doing the right thing, and I actually really enjoy Nero. Nero is actually my favorite character in the series. I really enjoy him. I think he has the best one-liners, even though I think Dante is a lot more funnier, and I think Dante is just more iconic. But I like the two of them going at each other, and just the action's great, and the new weaponry is great. And again, the visuals look great. The soundtrack, again, is kick-ass. And just, I like the story of these just two people going against each other, and neither one of them are right or wrong. So I think that's fascinating, so Devil May Cry 4, solid game. And now we're going to number 2. Number 2 is Devil May Cry 3. This is considered by most the best, because it's the hardest. My god, it is the fucking hardest. I played it on Son of Sparta difficulty. Holy shit, why did I do that? It was so hard. I love that it's hard. I love that it gets more difficult. I love it gets more challenging. I love that this is a prequel. And I love that you explore more about Dante and Virgil and stuff, and their mother, and Mundus and stuff. All good. The story is so good. The atmosphere is great. It's more, it goes back to that first one. It's more creepier. It's got more just disturbing imagery, and it's also got the great badass one-liners Dante gives, and it's got a great ending and how it ties into the whole series as a whole. And again, just the gameplay and the mechanics are just so well done and so well crafted. This is one of the best sequels to a video game, a lot of people say, and I understand why. It's a great hack and slash, and it's a great Devil May Cry sequel. It's just not my favorite. My favorite, number 1, is Devil May Cry 5. The newest one. I think this game is one of the most badass fucking games I have ever played. It's not the best game I've ever played. It's not the funnest game I've ever played. But it's one of the most badass games I've ever played. Just the fucking action is insane. It's got the best soundtrack out of all the Devil May Cry games. And the Devil May Cry games have some of the best rock and roll heavy metal soundtrack I've ever played in games. Devil May Cry 5 is probably my top 5 favorite video game soundtracks. It is so amazing and kick-ass. I downloaded the whole soundtrack onto my Spotify, and every time I go out running in the morning, I listen to it now because it's just so great. Just the song that bang, bang, bang. And I love that you get to play 3 characters. You get to play as Dante, V, and Nero. And I love all 3 of their stories, and I love all 3 of their arcs. And I love that they all have different, like, powers, and playing as each of these characters and their paths is different. Like Nero with his sword and his guns, and Dante with all his fucking crazy weapons, and Nero with how he controls, like, V, how he controls these demon animals and stuff. It's all great stuff. The leveling up system, just everything, how it's done, and, you know, how you can do your upgrades and stuff. The visuals are breathtaking, and it's, again, more of a simple story. And I love it. I absolutely love this game. This game just filled my heart with so much love for the Devil May Cry series. I loved it so much, I replayed the whole game as Virgil. That was fun. This game also has good twists. My god, the twists with Nero. I won't spoil it, but oh my, I didn't see that coming. Like, what? What a great twist. And, yeah, I loved Dante in this, dude, man. Dante with the hat and doing his dance. Fucking killed me, man. I loved it. And the new demons they bring, oh, so cool. Like, this is such a visually creative game. And it's funny. It's got great lines, great soundtrack, great action. It's just the ultimate Devil May Cry game. It's my favorite. So yeah, that was my ranking for the Devil May Cry series. I really dug the shit out of the series. I don't know what gaming series I'm going to play next. I remember a couple years ago, I got to the Metal Gear games, did a ranking of that. Now I did Devil May Cry. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll do Bayonetta. I haven't played Bayonetta, so who knows? But let me know in the comments below what is your ranking of every game in the Devil May Cry series. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.